Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 4 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 4 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. And the lessons we're going to cover from the chapter are add fractions with unlike denominators, subtract fractions with unlike denominators, compare sums of unit fractions, compare sums and differences of unit fractions. So let's just start with the chapter, right? Okay, so first of all, what do you know about the unlike denominators? What do you mean by unlike denominators? Unlike denominator means the fractions that have different denominators, right? You can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? Make sure you have your notebook and pencil. Okay, so what are unlike denominators? When two or more fractions have different denominators, right? They are known as unlike denominators. Two or more fractions have different denominators. They are known as unlike denominators, right? Like means same and unlike means different. So that means, for example, you have two fractions given 3 over 5 and 6 over 7, right? They are unlike, they are fractions with unlike denominators, right? This is the numerator and this is the denominator, right? Denominators are different, so that would be the unlike fractions. So they both are unlike because here you have the denominator 5 and here you have the denominator 7. So they are unlike denominators, right? So when you're adding or subtracting, you cannot add two fractions until they have the, for both addition and subtraction, right? You cannot add or subtract them until you have like denominators. For example, you have to add 3 by 5 and 1 by 2, but you cannot add them until their denominators are, until they have like denominators, right? You have to make their denominator same. You have to look for a common denominator, right? So the common denominator for 5 and 2 are, because they don't have any common factors, so the unlike denominator would be 2 times 5. 2 times 5 makes 10. You have to make both the denominators equal to 10, right? How do you make? Here the denominator is 5 and 5 times 2 makes 10. You have to multiply this fraction by 2. Here you have 1 over 2. 2 times 5 makes 10. You have to multiply this fraction by 5. You have to do 3 times 2 divided by 5 times 2. 1 times 5 divided by 2 times 5, right? So you can do 3 times 2 is 6 over 10 and 5 times 1 is 5 over 10. Now they have like denominators. You simply have to add their numerators, right? 6 plus 5 makes 11 over 10. So this is the case for addition, for the when you are going to add the fractions and when you are going to subtract the fractions. First you have to make their denominators same, right? Let's just do another example. For example, you have to add 1 by 2 and 3 by 4. How do you add? These are the fractions with unlike denominators, right? You cannot add them until you make their denominators same. So here you have 2, here you have 4. They have some common. 2 times 2 makes 4, right? Smaller numerator is 2, the greater one is 4, and we know that 2 times 2 makes 4. So you have to make just this denominator equal to 4, right? So let's just multiply this fraction by 2 because 2 times 2 makes 4. So you have to do 2 times 1 divided by 2 times 2. It would be then 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. You can see now both the fractions have like denominators, right? So simply you have to add their numerators. 3 plus 2 makes 5, so it would be 5 over 4, right? It would be 5 over 4. Okay, let's just do another example. You have to add 4 by 9 and 1 over 3. So here you have 3, right? And here you have 9. 9, 3 times 3 makes 9, right? So that means you have to multiply this fraction by 3 to make their denominators like or equal. Let's just multiply this fraction by 3. 1 times 3 divided by 3 times 3, right? It would be 4 over 9. 1 times 3 is 3 and 3 over 9, right? You can add their numerators. 4 plus 3 is 7. That would be 7 over 9, right? So the correct option is 7 over 9. The correct option is 7 over 9. So you have to do exactly the same thing with when you are subtracting the unlike denominators, right? Let's just do an example when you are subtracting the unlike denominators. Okay, for example, you have to subtract 1 over 3 and 2 over 9, right? You can see these are the fractions with unlike denominators, right? So first of all, you have to make the denominator same. The greater denominator is 9. The greater denominator is 9. So you have to do the smaller one is 3. You have to make the smaller denominator equal to greater one, right? You can do 3 times 3 because 3 times 3 makes 9. You have the fractions 1 by 3 and 2 by 9. You have to subtract them. So you cannot subtract until they have the same denominator, right? You have to make their denominators same. How do you make their denominators same? You are given two of the fractions. They are 1 by 3 and 2 over 9, right? The denominators are 3 and 9. So the greater denominator is 9 and the smaller one is 3. You have to make them equal. You know that if you 3 times 3 makes 9, you can multiply 3. You can do 3 times 3, then the denominator would be equal. So you have to multiply this fraction, whole fraction, by 3. Multiplying fraction means you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator as well. It would be then 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 times 3 is 9. You can see now both the fractions have like denominators, right? When they have like denominators, you simply have to subtract their numerators. So just do 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. It would be 1 over 9. Got it now? You have to do exactly the same thing with addition, but in the end I subtracted them, you have to add them, right? Okay, let's just do another example. That would be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4. Okay, you can see you have two fractions. Both the fractions have unlike denominators, right? They have unlike denominators. You cannot subtract them until they have the like denominator or they have the same denominators. So what do you have to do for to make their denominators same? Here you have 2 and here you have 4, right? These are the two denominators. We know that 2 times 2 makes 4, right? You have to make their denominators equal, and we do know that 2 times 2 makes 4. So you have to multiply this fraction by 2 to make its denominator equal to 4. So you have to do 1 times 2 divided by 2 times 2. So that would be 2 times 1 is 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. You can see now they have the like denominators, right? You can simply subtract the numerators. 2 minus 1 over 4, that would be 1 over 4. So their difference is 1 over 4. So you cannot add the subtractions or subtract the you cannot add the fractions or subtract the fractions until they have the like denominators, right? Okay, let's just start with the lesson. We'll do the practice questions, then we'll. Yes, we'll do some of the practice question. What's wrong with you, Foma? You can leave. Add fractions with unlike denominators. So let's just do some of the examples from addition, right? Okay, we'll do practice questions for addition and subtraction as well. Hold on. Okay, let's just start with add fractions with unlike denominators. So let's just start with the practice questions. They both are exactly same. You have to do the same steps. You just have to add in the end or subtract, right? Let's start with the first one. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 2, right? 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2. Okay, you have to add them. You are given two of the fractions. You have to add them. They are the fractions with unlike denominators because the denominators of both the fractions are different, right? You have to make their denominators equal. 6 and 2. The smaller number is 2. If you multiply the smaller number by 3, you can make 6, right? And then both the denominators are exactly equal. So that means you have to multiply this fraction, the one with smaller denominator, you have to multiply this fraction by 3 to make their denominators exactly equal, right? So let's just multiply. Multiply with fraction means you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator as well. It would be 1 over 6 plus 3 over 6. So they have now like denominators. You simply have to add their numerators. 3 plus 1 is 4 over 6. So the sum of the fractions is 4 over 6, and you can see both 4 and 6 are the multiple of a common number 2, right? You can divide them both by 2. It would be 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 3 is 6. So the answer is 2 over 3. Got it now? For the next question, you have to do the question on your notebook and let me know the answer, right? So the correct option is 2 over 3. Okay, you don't need to divide them, that is just 4 over 6. You don't have to divide them. Nothing is difficult here. Why not exactly then? That would be 4 over 6 because you have to do logically, right? Let's just do another example. That would be 1 by 8 plus 3 by 4. Okay, which is the common denominator? What we have to do? The greater denominator is 8, the smaller one is 4. You always have to make the smaller denominator equal to greater one, right? So 4 times what number makes 8? Yes, you have 4 times 2. You have to make this fraction, you have to multiply this fraction by 2 to make the denominator exactly equal, right? So you have to do 3 times 2 divided by 4 times 2, right? It would be 1 over 8 plus 3 times 2 is 6 over 8. Now they have the like denominators. You simply have to add their numerators. 1 plus 6 makes 7 over 8. So the correct option is 7 over 8. That would be 7 over 8, right? Correct option is 7 over 8. Okay, the next one is you have to add 1 by 10 and 2 by 5. 1 by 10 plus 2 by 5. How do you add them? You have to make the denominator same, right? The greater denominator is 10 and the smaller is 5. 5 times what number makes 10? You have to do 5 times 2, right? Because 5 times 2 makes 10. So just multiply this fraction by 2. So it would be 1 over 10 plus 2 times 2 divided by 5 times 2. So it would be 1 over 10 plus 4 over 10, right? They have like denominators. You can just simply add their numerators. It would be 1 plus 4. That would be 5 over 10. The correct option is 5 over 10. Okay, which is the correct option? 4 by 9 plus 1 by 3. Which option is the correct one? Just do the question on your notebook and let me know the answer. Which is the correct option? The correct option is 7 over 9, right? The correct option is 7 over 9. Very good. Okay, 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3, which is the correct option? The correct option is 4 over 6, right? The correct option is 4 over 6. Oh, 3 over 6. No. Yes, because you have to multiply the other fraction by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 plus 1 is 3. That would be 3 over 6. Sorry. That would be 3 over 6. Why? Maybe you have to solve these questions on your notebook and then you have to write answers over here. But you are busy with talking to others. How do you solve the questions on your notebook? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just do some of the practice questions from subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. Okay, let's just do practice questions. 1 by 3 minus 1 over 6. Let's just see how do we subtract. What now, Priyan? The smaller denominator is 3 and the greater one is 6. 3 times what number makes 6? 3 times 2 makes 6, right? So you have to multiply this fraction by 2 to make the denominators exactly equal. It would be 1 times 2 divided by 3 times 2 minus 1 over 6. So that would be 2 over 6 minus 1 over 6. So now both the fractions have exactly same denominators, right? You have to subtract their numerators. So it would be 2 minus 1 over 6. So that would be 1 over 6. So the correct option is 1 over 6. You have to do 2 by 5 minus 3 over 10. 2 by 5 minus 3 over 10. So one of the denominator is 5 and the other one is 10. So 5 times 2 makes 10, right? That means you have to multiply this fraction by 2 to make their denominators exactly equal. So that would be 2 times 2 over 5 times 2 minus 3 over 10. 2 times 2 is 4 over 10 minus 3 over 10. Now they have the like denominators. You can simply subtract their numerators. 4 minus 3 is 1. That would be 1 over 10. The correct option is 1 over 10, right? No one is doing questions on your notebook. I am the only one who is doing the questions on the board, right? Then you keep asking question. I don't get it. How you get it if you are not doing the practice questions? The next one is 7 over 8 minus 3 over 4. So which is the correct option? How do you subtract? You have to make the denominators equal. So you have to multiply 4 times 2 makes 8. You have to multiply 3 by 4. The correct option is 1 over 8, right? Okay, the next one is 2 by 3 minus 5 by 9. So which is the correct option? You have to multiply 3 times 3 makes 9, right? You have to multiply 2 by 3 minus 5 by 9. Let's just do it on board. I know no one is doing on the notebook. So because 2 by 3 minus 5 by 9. Okay, here you have 3, here you have 9, right? 3 times 3 makes 9. So you have to multiply this fraction by 3. So that would be 2 times 3 divided by 3 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6 over 9 minus 5 over 9. They have now like denominators. You can simply subtract the numerator. So it would be 1 over 9. The correct option is 1 over 9, right? Okay. The next one is 5 by 8 minus 1 over 2. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 1 over 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is 9 by 10 minus 1 over 2. So which is the correct option? 'So which is the correct option? The correct option is 4 over 10. 1 over 2 minus 1 over 6 equals, that would be 2 over 6 is the correct option. One by 3 minus 1 by 6 equals, the correct option is 1 over 6, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. The next one is the word problems for add and subtraction. So you can do the word problems on your own. You have to do exactly the same thing we just did, right? Compare sums of unit fractions. Let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, so basically unit fraction means compare, you have to compare two of the fractions, right? Let's just start with the test questions because here you are not given with the examples. Okay, without adding, which sum is less? The fractions are 1 by 6 plus 1 by 4. The second one is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. So which is the correct option? You can see both the fractions are exactly same, right? Here you have 1 by 6, here you have 1 by 6, then you have 1 by 4, 1 by 4, so they both are exactly equal, so their sum is also equal, right? Which fraction is less? Which is less? 6 by 8, 7 by 8. 6 by 8 is less because both the fractions have same denominator, right? You just have to look for the numerator. The one that has the smaller denominator is less. So 6 by 8 is less than 7 over 8. Very good. Which fraction is greater? Which is the correct option? 1 by 3, 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is greater, right? You and when you're comparing, keep this very important point in your mind. When you're comparing, they must have same denominators, right? If they do not have same denominators, you have to make the denominator same, right? And I've already told you the method to make the denominator same, right? Okay, what fraction is less? 6 less 6 by 8, 5 by 8. Yes, so that would be less. 5 by 8 is less than 6 by 8, right? Which fraction is greater? So which is greater? 3 by 4 is greater, right? Because there you have greater denominator, so 3 by 4 is greater. Which fraction is less? 2 by 6, 1 by 6. So which is less? Very good. 1 by 6 is less than 2 by 6. Which fraction is greater? 7 by 8, 4 by 8. 7 by 8 is greater than the other one, right? Very good. Which fraction is less? 5 by 6, 2 by 6. So which fraction is less? Yes, 2 by 6 is less than 5 over 6, right? Which fraction is greater? 4 by 8, 5 by 8. 8. Yes, very good. 5 by 8 is greater than 4 over 8. Okay, which fraction is less, 2 by 8 or 4 by 8? Which is less? Yes, 2 by 8 is less than 4 over 8, right? Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let me see which lesson is the next one if we can cover. Okay, the next lesson is uh, 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 uh. Okay, compare sums of unit fractions, right? We just did the. Okay, we'll do the next lesson in the next session. Add fractions with unlike denominators. Okay, so we are, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. We're working on the chapter add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. The lessons we have covered today are add fractions with unlike denominators, subtract fractions with unlike denominators, add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators word problem, and compare sums of unit fractions, right? So please make sure you have to complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Okay, if you don't have any question, if you have any question, you can ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. And if you don't have any question, you can leave. No questions? Okay, then bye everyone. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.